Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and enjoy this fanfic part 1. Now let's start the fanfic. Naruto Uzumaki was walking away from his team's training, if you could call it that. All the Kakashi Hatake did was teach Sasuke Uchiha no Jutsu or give Sakura Haruno a scroll to read. But Naruto, all his sensei did was telling him to work on his chakra control. Halfway through the forest, a strange smell filled his nose. He always had a distinct sense of smell, which he later found out was due to housing the Kyuubi. He had managed to memorize every scent in the village. He was most familiar with sake and ramen due to the fact that they were the two things he had the most contact with. This scent, however, smelled like a mixture of pine trees and dogs. But there was some other pheromone that seemed to draw him towards the source. Naruto followed the smell to a clearing a couple of meters away and caught the sight of a girl who was around 18 training with a trio of ninja hounds. She has long brown hair pulled back into a ponytail and was wearing a chunin vest over her gray long-sleeved shirt. Naruto caught a glimpse at her face and saw the red Inuzaka tattoos on her cheeks, like one of the few people he considered a friend, Kiba Inuzaka. He watched for what seemed like hours until the girl stopped and spoke. "Come on out, whoever you are." Her sickly sweet voice spoke. Naruto jumped before walking into the clearing. The girl, who yet to be identified, stared at Naruto, while raising a single eye, and asked him, "Why are you spying on me?" "Hey, I wasn't spying on you." Naruto defended himself. This of course was true, he wasn't spying but just observing. "I was walking home from training and I smelt pine trees and dogs, so I came to see what it was." "I smell like pine trees?" she asked. "It's more like a mix of pine trees and dog actually," Naruto said, squinting his eyes in concentration, making the girl unable to stop herself from thinking how cute he was like that. "There's something else coming from you, but I can't really describe it. All I can tell is it's primal and it's seeming to dominate the pine tree and dog smell." Naruto pondered on what the other scent could be, before the girl in front of him spoke up. "Great," the girl groaned, "a genin tracked me down while I'm in heat." "Huh?" Naruto asked. "You were in my brother's class, right?" she asked. "So you should have a clue on what clan I'm from." "Wait a second, lady," Naruto yelled. "You're Kiba's sister." She nodded at his question. "Whoa. You're cuter than Kiba said you were. He said you looked like the backside of a street Barnard or something. Note to self: kill Kiba. End note." The girl thought, "I'm Hana Inuzaka, and that scent you followed was a pheromone every female Inuzaka gives off when we go into our monthly heat." "Huh?" Naruto asked, confused. "Didn't they teach you about the human body in the academy?" Hana asked. "I got thrown out of the class for asking a question," Naruto said. Hana growled at the thought of the academy teachers throwing a student out of a class for asking a question that might have made him better at something. Then she realized who this young boy in front of her was, all the while still growling, and this making Naruto flinch back before she stopped. "You're Naruto Uzumaki, aren't you?" she asked. When he nodded, she continued, "Kiba said you weren't that bright and I can see why now. Well, enough talk, time to get down to business." "Huh?" Naruto asked again. "Inuzaka tradition says that if any male that finds us while in heat, we have to battle. If we win, then nothing really changes for us, but if we lose, then you become my mate." She added the extra emphasis of the "you" to help him out. "Mate," Naruto shouted. "Basically my husband, partner, lover, friend, any title fitting to a romantic relationship, really." Hana explained. "But I don't even know you, and I love Sakura," Naruto said. Naruto was scared, to say the least, about losing his love for Sakura, but at the same time the thought did cross his mind. While that thought pegged his mind, another one seems to cross it. "She does seem like a nice girl, maybe I should hear her out." "You mean that loudmouth fan girl with the big forehead my brother told me about?" Hana asked. Naruto nodded and Hana groaned, causing Naruto to give her a confused look. Some advice, Naruto, Hana said. Give up on her. You can do way better. She's a fangirl and they're basically leeches to the strong shinobi of the village. Naruto ignored her, pegged with his current thoughts. He got down into the rough academy-style fighting that he knew. So we have to fight, right? Naruto asked. Any rules I should know about? While smirking at him. Very good, asking a clan member about a clan tradition. There's hope for you yet, Hana commented. There's only 3 rules. 1. No killing. 2. No outside interference, which means the triplets. She pointed to her 3 ninja hounds who were all sitting staring at them during this whole thing. Won't be fighting with me. And 3. No surrendering. The fight goes till one of us gets knocked down, so if I knock you down I win, right? Naruto asked. All Hana did to this was nod in response. Alright then, Naruto said. I always try in a fight, so I won't hold back on you, but I also won't try to actually win. Inside his head though, his thoughts were a bit different. Maybe I should try. Of course, Kit, you better try. I don't want my host to be bested by a mutt, the Kyuubi said with a low growl from inside his cage. But I don't want give up on Sakura. I love her. Naruto argued back to the 9-tailed monster. Kit, listen to me and listen to me well. Give up in her. The mud in front of you is right. Fangirls are nothing but leeches to any kind of decent shinobi. Trust me, your father thought the same way about them. Naruto took a minute to process this when suddenly he jumped. You know my dad. He yelled in his head, but the only response that he got was, not today, Kit, not today. When Naruto finally finished with Kyuubi, he heard Hana. I understand, Naruto, Hana said, then yelled, 4 legs technique. Hana dropped down onto her hands and feet as her nails grew longer and harder and her canines grew longer as well into more fang-shaped teeth. Let's go, Naruto shouted, rushing in, and the two started trading blows. Hana was impressed that Naruto managed to dodge all her blows by the skin of his teeth, of course, but still. Taking a swipe at him, Naruto jumped back and put his hands into together, crossing his pointer and middle fingers in front of him. Multiple shadow clone jutsu, he shouted, making 10 solid clones of himself. He knows an S-rank kenjutsu at his age. Hana asked herself, avoiding the 10 Naruto's attacks and jumping into the air. Passing Fang, Hana shouted, spinning rapidly towards the 10 Naruto's, taking out 9 of them. Naruto jumped back as his last clone was eliminated. What surprised him was he caught the memories his clones had. They gave him a different view on the move Hana used, giving him an idea as he jumped into the air. To make sure he was right, he shouted, multiple shadow clone jutsu, and summoned 16 solid clones. Then he sent 13 shadow clones to Hana. Hana avoiding the 12 Naruto's attacks and jumping into the air again. Passing Fang, Hana shouted, spinning rapidly towards the 12 Naruto's and taking all of them out. Naruto thinking to himself, I knew it. I apologize in advance, Hana, Naruto said, spinning like Hana had, passing Fang. Hana gasped, watching Naruto use a jutsu that took her 3 weeks to learn and 10 weeks to master. She was so surprised that she forgot to dodge. Thankfully, Naruto hadn't fully mastered the passing Fang or the control on his chakra and slowed down to a visible level. His head collided with her stomach. Gasping, she fell back but caught herself from landing on the ground. Ow! Naruto muttered as he jumps in the air, and the 3 shadow clones kick Hana into the air while saying, Nah. Ru. 2. With final heel kick to Hana's stomach, Naruto said, Uzumaki barrage. With that, Hana land on the ground. You use the passing Fang, Hana said as sitting up while Naruto sat across from her. I don't know why, but my clones caught how you did it and I gained the information when they went poof. Naruto said. So you discovered the shared memories function of the multiple shadow clone jutsu, Hana said, Maybe he isn't as much as a dead lass that my brother said he was, she thought to herself for a minute, then she spoke to him. Well, Naruto, you beat me, looks like you're my mate now, she said with a smile on her face. Sorry, Hana, Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head, patting down his spiky blonde hair and smiling goofy at her. I kind of got caught up in how much fun I was having fighting with you and lost control. And what? You were being serious about the whole mate thing? Naruto yelled, when it finally hit him. Of course, Naruto, why wouldn't I be honest about something like that? Hana said. At this she noticed he looked down, his whole mood and persona that she had just seen changed to that of scared boy. Cause, he yelled at her, that is the way every other damn adult treats me in the village. They act all nice at first, treat me like I haven't done something wrong. Then he stopped to catch his breath. Hana took note of this and saw the tears forming in his eyes. Then they beat me, scare me, and do things that I just wish I could forget about, so why would you be any different? With this, Hana could only think of one thing to do. She walks up to the boy, just as he is about to take off, and envelops him into a hug. He looks down while whispering, I'm sorry, Hana. She hears this and nothing but speaks to him gently to try to soothe him, but also let him know that she wasn't lying to him. Naruto, it is nothing like that. Everything I have said to you is the complete truth, and now that this has happened, we are bonded together, she said to him in the most soothing voice she could muster, while slowly stroking his spiky blonde hair, trying to comfort the boy. To be truth, it seemed to be working. Finally she spoke up again. Naruto, I'm never going to hurt you, and you are just going to have to get used to it, got it? She asked him. It took him a few minutes, but finally, while looking her straight in her eyes, he notices she's telling the truth, and he responds, yes. This next part took a minute more for him to say to her, but he did, Hana. She did nothing but smile as he said this to her. She then takes a moment and looks around to see her Ninken getting restless, watching their partner, in the state that she is in. She then speaks up. Well, then we better get moving, Naruto, Hana said, releasing him, then grabbing Naruto's hand and leading him away from the clearing. Where are we going now? Naruto asked. As the duo started to walk up on the compound, Naruto, to say he was shocked would be an understatement. He has never seen something as powerful as a clan house that he could only gape in awe at the place. The exterior was that of rocks stacked upon each other, giving it the rugged, unkempt look, while the inside looked peaceful. The lawns were kept, the tree lush and green. At the same time, while taking it all in, Naruto was thinking one thing. Is this how the Inuzukas really are? Unkempt on the outside, but loving and caring on the inside? Naruto thought while keeping his gaze upon the whole clan estate. Hana smiled at him while he made this face and thought to herself, he's kind of cute when he's thinking. She kept this thought to herself and kept pulling him along. Hana started pulling on Naruto till they reached the largest house in the compound, and she opened the door, allowing him to enter. Of course he was a little skeptical at first, but she just gave him a quick pat on the back and he walked right in. After removing their shoes, Hana led Naruto to what looked like to be what he thought was a kitchen. His box of an apartment didn't have one, just enough room for a small grill which he uses to heat up water. Hana speaking brought him back to reality. Mom, I have news for you, Hana said, grinning while gaining her mother's and Naruto's attention. At this, Naruto looked forward to see a woman, whose hair reminded him of that of his friend's Kiba. She also had the clan tattoos on her face. Naruto could only make this out to be one thing, that this was Hana's mother. What's up, pup? The Inuzuka matriarch asked, raising an eyebrow at Naruto. She knows that she has seen this boy around. Who hasn't? He is Konoha's prank king, the one who in mid-daylight defaced the side of the Hokage mountain, especially the fourth's face. I have a mate, Hana exclaimed with much enthusiasm. Retelling her mother, The events that had taken place just a few minutes ago, all the while her mother giving Naruto a stare down, that made him almost tremble in his pants. Naruto thought while seeing her stare at him, I hope she's okay with this. I mean, I'm a nobody who just happened to mate with her daughter. He thought to himself, when he heard a response, Kit, stop your worrying, if you don't you won't enjoy what's going on. Again Kyuubi has spoken to Naruto. He thought this odd, why would this demon want to help me? He just couldn't wrap his mind around it when suddenly he heard Hana speak with a bit more excitement in her voice. And that's when he used the passing fang, after his clones seen me use it. Then combine it with his move that he calls Naruto Uzumaki Barrage, Hana explained. It was finally time for her mother to chime in again. This made Naruto worry more till she spoke. Sum said, placing her hand on her chin in thought. Tell me Uzumaki, she said with some questioning in her voice, apart from the multiple shadow clone jutsu and Naruto Uzumaki Barrage, what other jutsu have you learned? Well, I invented my Y technique and Harem technique, and the old man made those E in a ranked kinjutsu and put them in the Forbidden Scroll after I taught Konohamaru how to use the Y technique, and I know some elemental jutsus. I don't really have any other jutsu. Naruto said. She could see how physically nervous that he was to be around her. And skills? Sum, she said with a questioning tone again. My good friend Rock Lee said I got the best memory, because I saw him use a skill on Sasuke when Sasuke wanted to test his eyes on him before we had the mission to guard an old man to build a bridge. I made my own version of it that is called Naruto Uzumaki Barrage, and Iruka Sensei said I was good at stealth if I could sneak around, paint the Hokage monument, and led an entire platoon of Chunin and Jonin on a wild goose chase for 3 hours. He also said I showed promise in espionage due to my talent in the transformation technique. Naruto said, slightly warming up, but at the same time, wondering where this conversation is going. And it also seems you're a visual learner, Sum said, not really talking to anyone at this time, but more like reassuring herself. If you could learn a clan secret technique just from 11 of you watching, there's probably no limit to what you could learn by watching. Well, we better get this over with so you two can get to bed. I'll tell the Hokage tomorrow and have Naruto added to the clan's list, Sum said. Now Hana nodded at this, while Naruto, being the person that he is, just kind of wonder what she was talking about. Why would we be going to bed, he thought. Sum just continued what she was saying, ignoring his confused look. Now Naruto, the mating ritual requires you to bite Hana's neck where her neck and shoulder meet and channel your chakra into your teeth and transfer it into her own network, and then she'll do the same. By doing this, her chakra level will grow to match yours. Before he started to do anything, he did have one question. Why am I being added to your clan's list? Naruto asked Sum, but it was Hana that spoke up to answer him. Because I thought I already explained it to you back in the training grounds. After I lose, you become my mate. Being my mate makes you part of our pack, okay? She tells him. Naruto nods. She then grabs him again as they follow her mom out of the kitchen to the clan chambers, where the ritual is usually done, and nods at Naruto, signaling him to start. He looks at Sum, who for the first time since him and Hana showed up is smiling at him. Then to Hana, who has a look in her eye that he has never seen before, he decides that store that away for later. Naruto starts by closing his eyes and making the ram seal. He tries to gather his chakra and focus it to his teeth. But the task proved difficult, but eventually he was able to manage to gather it to his teeth before leaning over and biting Hana on the base of her neck. Hana hissed as his chakra burned as it flowed into her. For a genin, Naruto had a lot of chakra and she could feel her chakra network expand to match his. When he removed his mouth from her neck, Hana quickly mimicked his earlier actions, taking less time to muster the needed chakra into her teeth. Then she bit his neck in return and transferred her chakra into his system. As soon as Hana removed her teeth from him, Naruto fell to the ground clutching his neck where she had bitten him and his body began to shake. The only thing Naruto heard while this was happening was, "Don't worry kid, you'll thank me later for this." Hana started to panic. "Mom, what's happening to him?" "No idea pup," Sum said. "This never happened before." Deep down Sum knew what was wrong, that it had to do with the damn fox that was sealed inside him. After a while Naruto's body stopped shaking and started growing until he stood at 181.2 centimeters tall, now a good 11 centimeters over Hana and 19 centimeters on the Inuzaka matriarch. As soon as Hana saw that he stopped shaking, she rushed over to him, took his head and put it in her lap. "Naruto, are you alright?" Hana asked, actually worried for her now bonded mate. "I'm fine Hana," Naruto said, returning the honorific. His voice was deeper now, and he looked straight into her eyes. This causes her to blush. Before. Earlier she thought he was cute, but now she thought he was, what is a good word as for it, yummy. Still a little worried, Hana quickly used a diagnostic jutsu she uses on dogs and other animals and gasped at what she learned. "Mom," Hana said, "Naruto actually aged." "Explain Hana." Sum said, her tone of that of a leader, not a mother at this point. "I can do that Sum," Naruto said. "First of all pup, either call me mom or Sum, none of this Ms., Mrs., or Miss shit in this family," Sum said, going back to the motherly voice that she had used earlier. "Alright mom," Naruto said, still unsure. He never really liked the way mom has ever felt on his tongue, but that could be due to not having parents. "While I was in pain the Kyuubi spoke to me." Hana gasped, not understanding what he meant or why the Kyuubi would be speaking to him. Sum just growled at this. "Don't worry, he told me that the mating ceremony was not only mixing my chakra with Hana's, but it was also aging my body to match her own age. In turn he was trying to make me a good match for my Hana." "So you're now 18? Sum asked. While wondering why the Kyuubi wanted to help him, he was the demon's container, so why help him? Sum kept looking at Naruto till he spoke again. "Physically but mentally I'm still only 12, Kyuubi said. My mind will age at normal rate still." "Alright," Sum said. "Naruto, who's your Jonin sensei?" "Kakashi Hatake," Naruto said, wondering why she cared about who his Jonin sensei was. "Do you meet him tomorrow?" "Yeah, but it'll just be a waste of time again," Naruto said, while at this time he had gotten up, Hana holding him just in case he needed some help from her. They all continued to talk on the way back to the kitchen. "For the past 3 weeks since we returned from our first C-rank mission, all he's been having me do is work on my chakra control. He didn't even bother to teach us the tree walking until we were in enemy territory in Wave Country." "What?" Sum growled. "That mask-wearing mutt didn't teach you the damn tree walking exercise until you were in danger." Naruto cringed at the tone she started using but continued as they found their way back to the kitchen table. He taught Sasuke a few fire jutsu and gave Sakura scrolls on something, but he does this when he thinks I'm out of sight so he can get away with pampering Tem's ego, Naruto said. "When we got back he became more open about it and said when I increased my control more he would take my training more serious, but it's obvious that I have better control than Sasuke does." Just as Sum was about to say something else, the door opened again and Kiba came in. "Hey mom, sis, who's the blonde guy?" Kiba asked, but Akamaru barked excitedly and jumped from his partner's jacket and ran towards Naruto and leaping into the blonde's lap. "Hey Akamaru, how's it going? House break Kiba yet?" Naruto asked, a fox-like grin on his face. Hana giggled at this while watching the ninpup respond. Akamaru raised a paw and made a doggy-style gesture of the so-so movement, making Sum laugh while Kiba raised an eyebrow before sniffing the air and grinning like a wild child. "Only one dead last can smell of ramen and have a goofy grin like that," Kiba said. "What happened to you Naruto?" Long story short, Naruto said, I beat your sister while she was in heat and became her mate, and the ceremony increased my age to match hers, so now I'm 18. Whoa, Kiba said, you beat my sister. He looked puzzled. How, you're the freaking dead last in class. A dead last that can use the multiple shadow clone jutsu and learn how the passing fang works just by watching his mate do it once. Sume said to her youngest child. I haven't mastered it, but I can do it. Naruto said. Kiba growled at the thought of the dead last knowing both a high-ranked jutsu and one of his clan's techniques, even if he was now his sister's mate. Just because you're now older than me doesn't mean anything. I'm still top male around here. With as much gusto and bumping his hand against his chest. If you say so, Kiba, Naruto followed up. By the way, bro, Hana said, standing up and grabbing her little brother by the ear, what is it that my mate told me about you comparing me to a street? Bernard's. Kiba glared at his friend. What the hell, man? Kiba yelled. What happened to bros before hoes? First off, Kiba, it will always be bros before hoes. There is one thing, your sister is not a hoe, she is my mate. Second, I learned to always compliment a woman when they're angry if you wish to live, and I decided not to hide anything from my mate unless I'm told by a ranking officer, or the Hokage himself. Naruto said. Also, being top male, you shouldn't be afraid of what your sister would do to you. Naruto finished his last statement with a snicker and turned to Sume when she started speaking to him. Speaking of ranking officers, Sume said, what time is your team meeting tomorrow, Naruto? 7, but Kakashi-sensei is always 2 hours late, so I'll get there by at least 8:30 or 9, so I'm not stuck there with only Sasuke and Sakura aka the Banshee for 2 hours. Naruto said. No envy from me about team placements, Kiba said, but why'd you want to know, mom? Because your brother-in-law's sensei's been sabotaging his training so he could teach the Uchiha and the Haruno girl and leave him to do chakra control exercises the entire time. Sume said. Really? Kiba asked. Yeah, and my control is actually on match with Sasuke's, if not better than his. Naruto said. And tomorrow I'm going to his team meeting with him to give that mud of a teacher a piece of my mind. Sume said in low growl. You don't need to do that, mom, Naruto said. He might be a bad teacher, but he's a good fighter. And what do you think I am, pup? Sume asked. Kuromaru and I could take Hatake in a fight. I see where Kiba gets his boasting problem from. Naruto muttered to Hana, who giggled. So it's settled, tomorrow I'll go with Naruto to his team meeting and tell his sensei to step up on his training or I'll kick his before I go the Hokage, Sume said. Then she changed her demeanor from that of protective mother and clan head to a concerned mother. Now, has anyone eaten yet? I was going to eat when I got back from training with the triplets, but then Naruto and I ended up doing the mating ceremony, so I was going to make something before we go to bed. Hana said. Naruto asked, but he just assumed that he would be going back to his apartment after this, but Hana wouldn't have that. I'm your mate, I intend to share my bed with you whether you like it or not, Hana said, standing firm on her choice, then giving Naruto a once-over. Tomorrow before your team meeting we'll go shopping for new clothes, and get your stuff from your place and move it here and get the Inuzaka marks tattooed on your cheeks. Why do I need to get the marks? Naruto asked, more or less dreading the day full of work tomorrow. You're my mate, and since you're not from a clan you got to take my clan's surname, making you now Naruto Uzumaki Inuzuka. Hana got up to sit on his lap while she explained this to him. Sume nodded and Kiba just rolled his eyes. I ate with my team after we got done with our missions today, so Akamaru and I were heading to bed. Kiba said as Akamaru barked and followed his partner to their room. What about you, pup? Sume asked, looking at Naruto. You eaten yet? I was on my way to Ikiraku's before all this happened, so nope. Naruto answered. I always liked that place, Sume said. They used to give the Kuromaru bones from their kitchen when I was a rookie genin. Why do you eat there, Naruto? Hana asked, picking up on the fondness in his voice and wondering why he didn't make food at home or go to another restaurant. It was the only place that didn't either throw me out on my or overcharge me. Naruto said. What about the Akamaikis? Tsume asked. Naruto didn't know why they were playing what seemed like a long game of 20 questions, but he didn't care. He liked the attention, and actually talking to people on an equal level, not being looked down upon. Oh, I'd have gone to them if I didn't live all the way across the village from them, Naruto said. I was 6 the last time I tried that and learned it was too dangerous for the Kyuubi container to walk that far unprotected, so I just stuck close to my home, as they called it. No wonder you seemed malnourished when we fought, Hana said as a frown started to graze her face. Naruto picked up on this and he hugged her closer to himself and started to calm her down. Well, you two eat something and get to bed, Tsume said as she and Kuromaru got up and started out of the kitchen. Seems like we got a big day tomorrow. After the Inuzaka matriarch left, Hana had Naruto let go of her and stood up and went to the fridge and looked in it. We got chicken, beef, and sausages, Hana listed off. Which do you want? I'll take beef, Naruto said, pulling off his now too small orange coat. Hana pulled out a package that had beef in it and placed it in the microwave before going to pantry and grabbing some carrots and peas and opening 2 of the cans and pouring each can into a bowl and replacing the now warm meat with the vegetables and then microwaved them too. After the carrots and peas were done, she placed them on 2 separate plates and placing the slabs of meat next to them and setting the plates as well as a pair of chopsticks in front of her mate. The newly mated couple exchanged conversation over their first dinner as a couple. Hana told him how she was a medical ninja but worked mostly as a vet for the entire clan and others with pets around the village, while Naruto told her about the wave mission and his fight with Zabuza and Haku. After dinner, Naruto washed the plates by hand. When Hana protested, he merely said, "You cooked, so I'll clean up." Hana shrugged at this, knowing there was no point at arguing, and watched as he scrubbed the plates and chopsticks before drying them and placing them back where he saw her get them from. When he had finished, Hana led him up to her room. He had never seen a room this large. It was about the same size as his apartment, but held a bed, a dresser, and in the corner looked like 3 balls of fur. This is when Naruto that she retrieved her nightwear and started removing her flak jacket and shorts and slipped into a pair of boy shorts and a sleeveless shirt while Naruto stared. The blonde genin was transfixed by his mate's body. Hana had C-cup and a toned stomach that most women would kill for. The Inuzaka girl's curves made her almost seem like an hourglass, and Naruto watched her toned legs while she shimmied into the shorts just before she went over to the bed and climbed in and looked at her mate, smiling, knowing why he was just standing there. You going to join me or stand there? Hana asked, smirking at the blonde in front of her. 1 minute, I'm still memorizing what I just saw, Naruto said, making Hana blush and laugh at his words. Hey everybody, this will be my first fanfiction ever. Granted, I didn't even come up with the idea, so I want to give a complete and proper thank you to BlackSheep123 for letting me adopt this idea and run with it, and so without further ado, thank you BlackSheep123. Disclaimer. I don't own Naruto or Naruto Shippuden, but I wish lol. Naruto woke the next morning with the feeling of something on his chest. To him it felt warm, making him think something must have gotten into the box of an apartment that he has. When he went to grab it, he overestimated his reach and ended up grabbing whatever it was by the scruff of its neck, causing a womanly "ow" to be heard. He looked down and saw his mate, Hana, waking up. She smirked at him, knowing what he did was an accident, but she decided to have a little fun with it. As much as Inuzaka like it rough, Naruto, Hana said, smirking, we don't have time for any of that at the moment. She added the extra emphasis to Kun in that so she could get a reaction from him. Naruto blushed, letting go of his mate's hair while he sat up and rubbed his eyes as the memories of last night came back to him. All he could really do to this was smile. He had a family now, and that is something that he couldn't be happier about. What time is it? Naruto asked, laying back down. About 6 o'clock, Hana said, getting up. She started to stretch and pushed out Harrods just to get another rousing look from Naruto and proceeded walking over to her closet and grabbing her outfit for the day. Well, get your stuff from your place after missions today, but after breakfast we'll replace the monstrosity you shredded last night. But it's too early. Naruto whined, rolling over. Sleep now, shop later. He groaned out, hiding his head in his pillow. Hana smirked before looking towards the husky triplets in the corner that were intent on looking at her. Wake daddy up, boys, Hana said with a devilish smirk. At her words, the trio of Ninken bounded over to the bed and started licking and nudging Naruto with their cold noses, making him yelp and fall out of bed and glare at the three dogs as they looked innocently back at him before the one on the far left jumped off the bed into his lap and snuggled his head against Naruto's in a brotherly way from a dog's terms before barking at him. Flattered I may be, bud, Naruto said, but annoyed and tired also. Hana just looked at them with a puzzled but troubled look. You understood him? Hana asked. Just him, Naruto said. The other two are just bits and pieces. Well, Judo has always been the more intelligent triplet, Hana said, but you're also learning still, so there's help for you yet, babe. Babe? Naruto asked, standing up. Hey, we're mated, might as well make an effort, right? Hana asked. I guess, Naruto said. So anything I can wear until we get to the store. Just this pink kimono, Hana said, smirking, showing him a pink kimono that also was adorned with purple flowers and a red trimmed liner. I'll just snag a pair of shorts from Kiba, thanks for the offer though. Hana, Naruto said. He wanted to add something to get back at her for the babe comment, but he just couldn't think of anything yet. That being said, the blonde stood and walked to Kiba's room, which took a minute, seeing how he never actually took a tour of the main house last night. When he finally found his door, he knocked, and waited, but no answer came, so assumed Kiba had left already since his sensei was always on time. When he went in, he noticed that Kiba's room was a mess, and that was to say the least, but Naruto managed to walk over and find a pair of shorts and large shirt that he could fit in until he got his new clothes. He left a small note to Kiba letting him know he borrowed the shirt and pants. He left the room to go back to Hana's. He got there and noticed she wasn't in there. Man, how long did it take me to find Kiba's room? He thought to himself till he heard Hana yell to him. Naruto, get to the kitchen, it's breakfast time, and you don't want the triplets eating it all. She yelled to him, teasing him. He ran to the kitchen. At least I know where this is, he thought to himself, to see Hana and her mother Sume was eating breakfast. He decided to sit next to his mate. Naruto yawned as Sume got and walked to the counter only to return with a bowl and a plate. She slapped a spoonful of eggs onto the plate next to the toast, which was already there. Eat up, pups, Sume said, returning the bowl the counter, then to her own breakfast. Lots to do today and so little amount of time to do it. They ate quietly, Hana glimpsing at Naruto here and there, then looking away, while Naruto seemed to be having a conversation within him. Inside Naruto's head he was have a conversation, just not with himself. So Fox, you never answer the question yesterday. Why are you helping me? Give me an answer now, Naruto said to his tenant, but the response he got was something he just wasn't expecting. Kid, 3 things. First of all, if you ever speak to me like that again, I will kill. Not only that, I'll take over your body and live your life, just like it was mine own. You got it? Kyuubi growled out. Second, I had to build up the courage to say this, but I, the great Kyuubi, want to apologize to you, boy. Your life hasn't been easy cause of me, and I felt I owed you for that. I know you weren't the one who put me here. Hell, you don't even know why I was put here, but know this, if you are willing, we can make a truce and work together. Got it? Now finally I will tell you who your folks are, but not till you're stronger, and as wise as a fox, because what you will learn from this will either break you down to the point of uselessness or make you strong. Got it? Kyuubi finally finished his rant and Naruto sat down trying to think about it. When he finally spoke up, what he said surprised himself. Deal, you damn fox, I'll accept your apology, and I guess, to show some kind of act of kindness on my end, I'll change your living conditions. Naruto finished and started to think long and hard. To be honest, for normal people it didn't take much, but for Naruto it took a lot of concentration. Finally they were in a field, with other foxes running around when he finally spoke again. Hope you like it, it was the best I could do, you know. So I do have one question, how am I going to get stronger and, as you say, as wise as a fox? My sensei doesn't want to teach me jack shit, he only teaches the tem and banshee. Kyuubi spoke up after this, a foxy smile adorning his face. Have your mate teach you, Kit, who knows, you might like her teaching you, also she does seem pretty smart, and hot, and… Kyuubi was cut off by Naruto at this point. Alright, I get what you're saying, also Kit, start showing some effort with your mate, got it? Good Kit. Now one last thing, what's that fox? The name's Kurama. With that Naruto kicked back to the real world to see Hana cleaning up and soon leaving. He decided to take Kurama's advice and he walked to Hana, grabbed her by the waist and hugged her. She didn't know what was going on, but she just melded into it. She looked up and said, Naruto, we can do this later. For now we have to go clothes shopping, and then mom and you are going to meet up with the Eva sensei you have. He smiled at this and let go of her. He did the seal to summon two shadow clones, who bumped Hana out of the way and finished cleaning. Hana realized what happening, grabbed Naruto's hand and led him out of the compound, hand in hand. 10 minutes later Hana and Naruto walked through the village to the clothing store. Once there Hana noticed her mate tense and become on guard for some reason. Thankfully they had no hassle from the people in the store and Naruto had to purchase 6 new outfits. 2 new on-duty outfits, 2 for off-duty, a formal outfit for social gathering his new clan would attend in the future, and 1 for funerals. One of his ninja outfits consisted of a skin-tight black shirt, with a crimson collar over top of this was a coat of the same style, the hood, and was that of a beaked shape so that he can see out but you couldn't see in if he didn't want you to, and the other one is same but all white. My mate has a killer body now, she had said, looking him over while grabbing him a pants, a pair of shoes, white pair of boots, and a pair of white gloves. To match the shirts he got black pants, which had crimson-like accent to them, and a pair of black shinobi sandals. His off-duty outfits were a simple, for colder days he had a red shirt with black pants, and for warmer days Hana grabbed a pair of black shorts, and a red t-shirt. The final outfits that he had to get, was his formal one and one for funerals, which was easy, just a plain black kimono. After she paid for the outfits Hana led him back to the compound. There she brought him back to her room and showed him where to put his stuff. She then told him, when we get back we'll put it away, for now we have one more stop. She brought him to another clan house where he met her third cousin and the clan's tattoo artist Kazame Inuzaka. The two exchanged quick hugs before Hana introduced him to Naruto. So Hana finally got leashed. Kazame was a few inches shorter than Naruto with a long brown mane like hair longer than Hana's, and like all Inuzaka he had the red fang tattoos on his cheeks. The male Inuzaka pulled the blonde into a hug before stepping back. So the clan tattoos are a given, but do you want anything else? Kazame said. First visit is free, but next one I have to charge you, so think hard about this. Think of it as my mating gift to my favorite third cousin and her new mate. Naruto thought about it and remembered the flower tattoo Hana had on her arm and smiled. Can you do a fish cake on my stomach? Naruto asked. At his words Kazame barked out a laugh. Using your name's double meaning as a jokey he asked. Yeah, I'll do that for you after I do your fangs. Smirking, he added, gives Hana something to lick. Kazame teased while the mated couple blushed. Hell, since you made me loth, I give 2 tattoos for both meanings. After 2 hours of sitting in a chair while Kazame did his work and Hana held onto Naruto's hand while they walked out with his Inuzaka fangs, the fish cake around his navel, and maelstrom on his right shoulder. The couple arrived at the house to see Sume and Kuromaru geared for battle. Seeing the couple, Sume tossed Naruto a black kunai pouch and a new shuriken pouch to match. I saw the condition of your old gear, so had Uncle Kudo make you a new set and paid for them, so there's my mating gift to you, Sume said. She then asked, so what did Kazame give ya, pup? So to answer her question, Naruto lifted up his shirt and showed her the tattoos of maelstrom and a fish cake. She couldn't help but laugh and think the same thing that Kazame had thought. Thank you, Mom, Naruto said, bowing to the Inuzaka matriarch. This is more than anyone has ever given me before. Ah, cut the mush, pup, Kuromaru said, trotting over and nudging him with his nose, pushing him towards the door. Team meeting now, and when you get back from the library we'll start you on the passing fang training and then fang passing fang, as well as training that nose of yours and the 4 legs technique. I got to learn all that, Naruto whined. Yep, pup, Kuromaru said. You smell too much like a kitsune to get a partner, but since you know the multiple shadow clones you don't need one pulse. He shared memory function gives you a wider range than a partnered pair in the clan, since you can follow 2 trails at once and a chance one's a false trail you'd know about it. Good point, Kuromaru-kun, Sume said. Hey everybody, this will be my first fan fiction ever. Granted, I didn't even come up with the idea, so I want to give a complete and proper thank you to BlackSheep123 for letting me adopt this idea and run with it, and so without further ado, thank you BlackSheep123. Disclaimer. I don't own Naruto or Naruto Shippuden, but I wish lol. Sume and Naruto arrived at Team 7's training ground 20 minutes later, just after Kakashi had arrived. Naruto, care to tell me why you're late? Kakashi spit at him, ignoring the obvious changes, unlike Uchiha and Haruno. My new son-in-law was dealing with clan matters this morning, and also I need to tell you something, Hataki. Sume spoke at them. Really, what is it? The silver-haired Jonin asked. Passing fang jutsu. The head of the Inuzuka shouted, spinning rapidly and slamming the razor-edged tornado into Naruto's sensei's chest, drilling him into a tree before she cancelled the jutsu and flipped backwards and crouching in front of 2 stunned genin and Naruto, laughing his off. Kuromaru, Sume called as Kakashi got up, trying to clear his head from the hit. Right. The one-eyed dog said, shocking the 2 younger genin with his speech. 4 legs technique. Beast human clone jutsu. Fang passing fang jutsu. Sume shouted, performing the 3 jutsu back to back like a pro and pinning Kakashi in between the 2 tornadoes and heading up before her and Kuromaru paired off, letting him fall to the ground from 5 feet in the air. Let that be a lesson, mutt, Sume said. If you sabotage my pup's career, I end yours, capuche. Gotcha, Inuzaka. Kakashi groaned, getting up then looking to his team. Signed you up for the Chunin exams that is in 1 month, he says, tossing them papers. Naruto, you'll train on your own until then. Sasuke, you'll come with me. And Sakura, here are a few scrolls to learn from. Good luck, he said, vanishing before Sume or Kuromaru could do anything. That mutt, Sume growled while he ninja hound nodded in agreement. Naruto sighed before looking at the ninja hound. Well, since Mutt-sensei bailed on me, can you help me on my elemental jutsus? Naruto asked. Sure thing, pup, Kuromaru and Sume said. Wait, Sakura screeched, showing everyone why Naruto called her a banshee. She said you were her son-in-law. When did you get married? I feel bad for it. It had no choice to marry you because you beat it. On the other hand, I don't feel bad, it deserves it for losing to you. If you want to know how I know this, you should pay attention in class. They tell you the village's rules to support Aburame and Inuzuka clan rules, she finished, with a proud shit-eating grin on her face. Something in Naruto snapped at this point, his anger boiling over, and he yelled at Sakura, "How it happened is clan business, and since you're not part of my clan, you don't need to know." Then he did something that no one would think he would do. He walked up and gave her a gut shot. She bent over in pain, asking him why. His response is this: "Next time you call my Hana, it, or talk crap about my clan, this is the same for you, Sasuke. You guys won't be able to move, let alone breath. I won't do any more, cause mom says my team is my pack, and I won't abandon you guys, but I will teach you guys a lessons when you guys get out of line." Got it, Banshee and Prick? The whole thing shocked everyone, cause she hasn't seen anyone defend her daughter in such a way, Sasuke and Sakura, cause he thought that Sakura had some control over Naruto, but he was sadly mistaken. "I see that stood with you, pup," said. "When Kuromaru is done with you on tracking training, we'll start on perfecting your Pang Fang, but first we go to the library and get you some books." Finished with a motherly grin. At that time the Uchiha thought it was his turn to get his 5 cents in. "As an Uchiha, I demand you teach me rather than the dead last," Sasuke said arrogantly. "Yeah, good luck with that," said. "I'm teaching him clan stuff, and as you said, you are an Uchiha, not an Inuzuka." "Neither is stupid Naruto," Sakura yelped out in pain. "My full name is now Naruto Uzumaki Inuzuka," Naruto said. "Since I'm not from a clan and Hana, as tradition of the Inuzaka clan states, I had to join her clan. So pup, I'll see you at the compound later for training, and I will be sure to use the advance insane style," Kuromaru said. When they got to the library, Naruto grabbed some books that will help him with his jutsus and fighting styles, while grabbed some books to help Naruto learn new things that he should had learned in the academy and by his sensei. When they got compound, Naruto took the books to the room, then lead Naruto to a door where Kuromaru was waiting for him. Naruto opened the door for them and followed the alpha dog into a small room where there were countless incenses and foot pedals. Kuromaru trotted over to the incenses and grabbed them and a cloth, and went to the pedals and sat down before dropping his supplies on the ground. "Put this on and sit, Kuromaru." Naruto sat down and placed the cloth around his eyes, blinding him. "Now what?" Naruto asked. "All light and innocence, and you will identify the scent without your tenant's help. When you get 3 out of 5 cents right, then you'll use your tenant's help to get 8 out of 10 cents. Then you will go to Sum-chan to work on your Suga technique," the hound said. Naruto nodded and they began. At first Naruto did fine, correctly identifying the scents he detected. Kuromaru saw this and started mixing scents, then he struggled a bit. After the first were done, Kuromaru told Naruto to try it with the help of his tenant, which he did. Everything came easier but harder at the same time. "Alright pup, identify the one smell coming from the corner of the room," the nin hound said, this while lighting 5 different scents. They continued to do this exercise for about 2 hours, when finally Naruto had gotten mastery of it. "Good pup," Kuromaru said, illuminating the last flame and putting out the scent of cinnamon and peaches in the room. "Now go see out back to start on the passing fang." With that, Naruto walked out the door to see waiting for him with a feral smirk on her face. "Well, since you have both seen and did a passing fang before, I'll skip my demo and let you go ahead and show me yours so I can see what I'm working with." Naruto nodded and crouched into his usual fighting stance and going through his memories of watching his mate doing the mover before channeling his chakra to his body. "Passing fang." The blonde shouted, spinning and performing the razor tornado. However, it ended short of the targets had set up for the sessions. "A little more chakra pup," said, "and try to keep it as thick as possible close to you and thin. That what gives the jutsu its edge." Naruto did this but just couldn't seem to get it. At one point he added too much chakra that Sum swore the tornado looked red, then he would add too little. After about 3 hours of this, she called it a night. Hey pup, we're done for today. I'll work on a training schedule for you and give it to you tomorrow. Till then night, she said, walking away. Naruto nodded and stood up and entered the main house to find Hana, when he sees her with Kiba, who has a Chunin permission slip in his hand. You too, Kiba? Naruto asked. How long were you in there? Hana asked before her brother could answer. A few hours, Naruto said. Mom kicked mud as a sensei-san. He left to lick his wounds after giving us our slips and saying train until the exams, which Kuromaru-san and Ka-san started on today. Hana nodded as Kiba spoke. You're in the exam too? Kiba asked. Great, I'll bet Shikamaru, Choji and Ino are there too. Odds are yeah, Naruto said as he walked over to them and brought Hana in for a hug, which she happily returned. They stayed like that for a minute till Kiba in annoyance cleared his throat. Ooh. Hana looked at him and just stuck her tongue out at him and he just walked away. Naruto was Sakura had said earlier. Hana, can you choose to not get mated, and if so would you want me quit being your mate? Asked Naruto. Naruto, I glad that you are my mate and I will never change this for anything in the world, said Hana. Naruto looked down to see her face, and said, me too Hana, and we still have one more thing to do today Hana. And what is that babe? She asked. Well, we got to go, get my stuff, from my apartment, then thought that, we could get dinner together. Naruto didn't know why, but asking her to dinner scared him. He asked the Banshee all the time. So why now is he finally getting nervous? Hana was shocked but hid it well and said, of course Naruto, and with this she grabs his hand and they left the compound. Naruto and Hana were walking hand in hand, just happy to be with one another, heading to Naruto's old apartment. He was worried because he didn't want Hana to see how he lived before he met her. He didn't want her to see all the things written on his walls and the things that have been done to his apartment, the shitbox of a place, but she insisted that she would help him. So not to cause any problems he didn't press the point with her, cause for some reason he wanted her to be nothing but happy. They continued to walk along till they reached the red light district. Hana starts to worry as to why they went this far into town. She has heard stories of this area but never dared to venture to it, the bars, the brothels, and finally the people. She knew that only the lowest of perverts, the cheapest of the whores, and the most shunned lived here, but why was Naruto taking her here? He was supposed to be taking her to his apartment. She looked up at him. When she saw that he was intently staring at something, she looked to what it was, and that's when she finally saw it. The building that looked like it was going to collapse on touch. It was a faded blue color on the outside, and from where she was it looked there was writing. She couldn't make it out though. He kept holding her hand. As they walked up to the building, he started to tighten his grip, and rub his thumb across her hand to comfort her. When he saw the look of she gave him, it was one of shock and then look of sadness. She's from a well-known clan in the village, why would she want to be here? He thought to himself as he saw the monstrosity of a building that he used to live at, and that's when he saw it, that's when he saw what she was saddened about, the new writing on his wall. It was so fresh the paint could still be smelt. Die demon. Burn damn fox. Demon boy, you should die for what you did. I hope you rot in hell, demon boy. Freak. Naruto saw these and passed them off as nothing new, but Hana, she didn't know how to react to it. Was this the condition Naruto used to live in? She thought to herself. She was ashamed of what the villagers had done to him. He wasn't the one to choose this burden, so why treat him like he was the one who had the choice? Why? This made her angry as she wrapped her mind around it, but no answer came to her, and then they were there. His front door broken in, the glass from the windows cascaded all over the floor, shining colors of red and yellow, into the room. She looked at the mess in dismay. and just couldn't take it. What the hell is wrong with these villagers? She yelled, at no one particular, but got a response from her mate. This is how it has been, since I was little, he said to her with a downcast look on his face. To think this isn't that worst they've done. Once I came home to a fire being put out, he said. Hana, she couldn't take it, tears started to fall from her face as she thought about it. Naruto, why didn't you go to the Hokage with these problems? Why didn't you go get help? Why? She yelled the last part, not in anger, no, in a pure desolate tone. He looked at her. He knew sooner or later that he would have to talk to her about his past. He knew that it was better to talk about it, but before he had no one to talk to, before he was alone. And now he isn't. Hana, do you really want to know? Do you really want to know about my past, and why I never did anything about this? Naruto said while gesturing to the mess that was his old home. She didn't know what to say. At a loss for words, she nods her head. Okay, Naruto said, let me get the stuff that I came here for, and then we'll go and talk. Yet again, all she can do is nod. The goofy kid she called her mate was very cold and stoic at this time. She watched as he walked over to what looked like a bed. It was cut up, had springs pointing in every direction by the wall with a big hole in it, and by the clothes on the floor that is cut up and destroy. He lifted up the whole thing to show a little box underneath it. He grabs the box and then grabs Hana's hand and they leave. On the way out of the apartment there were 10 men and 6 ladies waiting for him to come out. Some of them got kunai, some got swords, and the rest got nothing. One man yells, "We've been waiting for you, freak, and today you are going to die for your sins." Then another man yells, "You come to us or we will come to you, either way you are going to die." Before Hana can say anything, Naruto said, "I'll come to you." Then he turned to Hana and said, "Go home, Hana, I will be there after this." A man interrupts Naruto, "Hell you will, you being dead, she can go, so say your last words to her now." Naruto continued, "Like I said, go, I will be there after this and I love you." Hana looks at Naruto and said, "No, I'll stay here and fight with you and I love you too." Then she turned and looked at them and said, "What the hell wrong with you people?" He didn't choose to be the Jinchuriki. Then Naruto said to "I will be fine, I meet you home." Then Naruto starts to walk up to him and looking at her and said, "Please go, I will be fine, this happens all the time." He looks at them and said, "Let's get this over with." With that, one guy punched Naruto in the face, then another person hit him in the gut. Hana went to stop them and help her mate, but look at here and said, "Stay out of this please, this is between me and them. I don't want you get hurt, please go, if you going to stay please stay out of this." Naruto look at the one guy with a sword and watch as he pulls out the sword from its carrying case. As the guy swing the sword at Naruto, Naruto dodge it and knee the guy in the stomach. Not this time, fat bastard, as Naruto turns around and kicks another guy in the face. Another person stabs Naruto in the back with a kunai 4 times. The guy with a sword then stabs Naruto in the stomach. Naruto drops to the ground looking at the guy who just stabs him. "That's all you got? You guys are getting weak," said Naruto as he get kneed in the face. Then another stab from the fat bastard. The fat bastard looks at Hana and sees that she is crying. Then he said to the group that keeps stabbing and beating up Naruto, "Guys, let's go, he has enough, besides I don't want to kill him in front of his girlfriend." Then he walks away with the group. Then run to Naruto and hold him in her hands. "Naruto. Naruto, are you okay?" asked Hana. But Naruto didn't answer. He just keep bleeding. She tried to heal him, but he needs to go to the hospital. So Hana summoned a hound and told it to get her nin dogs and tell her mom to meet her at the hospital. 10 minutes later, the 3 nin dogs show up and they took Naruto to the hospital. Soon just arrived with Kiba when she found she got to go to the hospital because of Hana told the hound she summoned. They saw Hana in the waiting room cover in blood, and then they went to her and asked what happened and where is Naruto. Hana looked at them and told them what happened to Naruto and how he only hit them couple of times but give up and let them continue stabbing him. Why mom? Why he told me to go and stay out of it? Said Hana with tears running down her face. Soom looks at Hana and said, he will be alright and he told you already, he doesn't want you to get hurt pup. 2.5 hours later the doctor came out and told them, they can see him now. When they went in the room they saw Naruto getting dressed and was all ready to go home and eat dinner with the family then go to sleep. Hana yelled at Naruto, why you didn't use any jutsus on them and why the hell you didn't let me take care of them. Promise me you will never do that again. Naruto said, I didn't want you get hurt, because they are people who can't make it as a ninja and I promise. They went home eat then went to bed. The next day Naruto and Hana start to train on Naruto's 4-leg technique for 6 hours. After that Naruto grab her hand and they left and he pulls Hana through the village, while clutching the box that he got from his apartment from last night to his chest. Hana didn't know where he was taking her, all she knew was she wanted to talk to him about his past and what happened last night, she wanted to share his pain, she wanted to help him in any way she could. And then she noticed he stopped and they were at the top of the Hokage monument, on the fourth's head to be exact. She looked out over the village, the glass from the buildings shining a deep gold, complementing the dark colors that were the village, in general. Outside the golden shine, there was nothing but a sea of green, it went on for miles, and the only thing that snapped her out of the wonder of colors she was seeing was when Naruto spoke up. This is why I used to come up here, it's beautiful isn't it? He asked her, his face just as stoic as it was back at the apartment. It is, she responded, now looking at her mate, his cerulean eyes gleaming in the light. He sat down, and put the box next to himself. He then grabs Hana's hand and pulls her onto his lap. He then starts his tale. To be honest I can't think of a place to begin. He said to her, well the beginning is usually the best, she added with a sad smirk on her face. Well if that's the case, it would had to be when I was 4, or was it 3, I'm not too sure anymore. I was kicked out of the orphanage, I lived on the streets for about a year and everyday people, mostly drunkards would find me and beat me, one time they beat, and almost killed me till an Anbu found me, and brought me to the Hokage. Naruto stopped to take a breath. Don't get me wrong the old man is nice he gave me an apartment, and I would get a check each week for food, rent, and any other things that I would need. Hana thought that isn't so bad, then Naruto continued, but that didn't change anything, actually I think it made things worse. I would receive near-death monthly beatings and the people would wait for me outside of my apartment like last night, I couldn't hide so I just let them beat me or stab me until they were done with me. Once in a while I give them a little fight I don't want to hurt them because they lost a lot because the Kyuubi. The Hokage knew about the beatings but he couldn't stop them, the people would create distractions and then, come and get me. At this point Naruto was shaking, and then he said, on my 6th birthday is when I found out why I was being beaten, why I was hated by all. One man, before he plunged a kunai into my chest told me, that I killed his sister that I was the Kyuubi that it was my entire fault his mother killed herself and that his father left. He told me that I made him an orphan and that I should die for it. An Anbu found me, dying that night, after the fact, and rushed me to the hospital. I was in a coma for 2 weeks, and then I met him. Hana was puzzled to say the least. Naruto, who did you meet? She asked him, with a serious tone. Kyuubi. He told me what happened and how he ended up in me, and what actually happened that night. He told me he wants me to get strong, and that he would help. Actually if it wasn't for him, I would have never run into you in the woods, Naruto told her, a smile finally adorning his face. But when I woke up from my coma, I found out my apartment was burned down and my things were destroyed, and that when I got to get a new one, farther from the people who hated me. That's why it was so far into the red light district, was no one here cared who you are as long as you have money to pay them. When I went into the academy at 8, I thought life was going to get better. I was wrong on that, honestly I think it might have gotten worse. 'Cause parents didn't want their children going to school with a demon, and they hate for me started to rub off on their children. And then I started getting picked on at school. The one thing that hurt the most honestly was, when I was 10, someone told the Hokage that they wanted to adopt me. We had the whole thing set up, and they were the first nice people to me besides that women from the orphanage, and the Hokage. I started to let my walls down around them, till they came to visit me. And, at this Naruto started to cry slowly and quietly. Hana saw this and hugged him hoping to comfort him, but he just kept talking. They said we were going on a trip to celebrate that I was moving in with them, they took me on a trip alright. When we reached the edge of the forest is when it started, they tripped me, I thought it was an accident till I saw what was coming next. A mob was there and they beat me, spit on me, burned me, everything and anything you could think of they did to me. When I got the chance to finally ask why, the person's response was what's today's date demon, and that's when it hit me, October 10th, my birthday, it was my birthday beating. The person I thought I could trust set the whole thing so that they could beat me to death, in the edge of the forest away from all the Anbu, and the Hokage. When they were through beating me, they left me for dead. At this time I decided not to trust anyone, ever again. I healed and limped back to Konoha's. When I reached the gate I collapsed. I guess the person adopting me told the Hokage that we got ambushed by bandits and that they kidnapped me. He believed them, and sent a search party for me. When they couldn't find anything on the path the person told them, they returned and said I was Mia. The Hokage was shocked that I came back to the village. Sure, I didn't get to go to the hospital, even though I was nearly dead. I hadn't eaten in a few days, I was exhausted, blood loss was through the roof. There are only a few things Kyuubi could do to keep me alive. He focused on healing my major wounds the whole time. Hana looked at him again, and asked, what happened to the person? Naruto smiled slightly and said, remember the last public execution? That was him. Saying Hana was shocked was an understatement. Of course she remembered the last execution, no one forgets an execution. I failed the academy that year for being out so much, the same went for the next year, and then finally I passed. With the help of Iruka, he wasn't allowing me to fail, he said. If I failed he failed, and he never failed. But I didn't trust him, why would I trust anyone, after what happened? So I did what I was told, even though I still can't make a regular shadow clone. Naruto joked before continuing, after I finally passed, I was put on a team, I was excited I would have a team, people I could talk to, and be near. Till the mud of a sensei started to play favorites with Prick, and the Banshee went along for the ride. The most I learned from him was the stupid tree walking technique, and that was after begging him to teach me something. But I can end this story on a happy note. After it all I got to meet you. He finished his story at that. It was a lot for Hana to take in, she didn't know what to say, or what to do. But she did something, she grabbed him by the face and kissed him, with as much passion she could muster. Naruto was surprised he knew what she was doing, but surprised she was doing it with him. Finally he gave way to his shock and kissed her back, with just as much passion, till she finally broke it and spoke. Naruto, thanks you. Thank you for sharing with me your story, thank you for being honest with me. I will never trick you, and now you do have a family, you have Mom, Kiba, and me. You will always have me. You'll always have me. The last part came out as a cry and, all Naruto could think to do was comfort her. He rubbed her back, and whispered in her ear. Thank you, Hana. I love you. P.S. I add 2 pictures to show you what the partner looks like, and 2 Naruto pictures also. Black picture is him. Red picture is him in a Great Fox mode aka Sage mode. Naruto will still have a Toad Sage mode, but he will also have Fox Sage mode. Long hair Naruto picture is when Naruto is in Fox Sage mode and the other one is both Sage modes combine. He won't learn Sage mode until after the pre-Chunin exams battle. I going make some of the training go fast so we can get to the good part. I hope you guys like it. Hana looks at Naruto with a big smile and said, I love you too, I will always love you baby. With that Naruto grab her and give her a long hard kiss. She gave him a kiss back. Out of nowhere they heard a weeping noise. Naruto got up, follow the weeping noise with Hana behind him. When he got to a big fox. When I said big I mean big, it is size of Hana dogs. The fox had 9 tails like Naruto's demon and it was color black with green eyes. The fox was trapped so Naruto helped it get free. The fox shocked Naruto and Hana because it talks. Thank you for helping me, and by the way my name is Kitsune. Because you had saved me, now you are my master, said Kitsune. My name is Naruto and this is my mate Hana. Since you are my new partner, do you want to go train with me for the Chunin exams, Kitsune? Yes sure master, anything for you, said Kitsune. Kitsune, please stop calling me master, call me Naruto. And I hope you like nin dogs, because you will have to get in long with them. Lol, my mate got 3 nin dogs at partners, said Naruto. Okay Naruto, I won't fight them if they won't try to fight me, said Kitsune. Hana finally got the chance to speak. Kitsune, don't worry about them, they won't fight you. I will make sure of it. And Naruto, now you got a partner, I can teach you the man-beast clone jutsu, that where he turns into a human-beast combination transformation. Double-headed wolf. This where you can combine yourself with the fox or wolf, but instead calling it double-headed wolf we will call it double-headed fox. Human-beast mixture transformation. Triple-headed fox. This is the same as the double-headed fox but you add a clone to it. Okay Hana. Whatever I need to learn, I will learn it for you baby, said Naruto. They start heading to the compound, to train until they run into Jiraiya. Hey Naruto, I been told you will be here with Hana. Hana, I hope you don't mind I take him from you for couple of days. I want to teach him some new jutsus like toad summoning, water style, water toad, some jutsu like that. What I've been hearing about you Naruto, you are a fast learner, it should only take you 3 to 5 days if it is true, said Jiraiya. Hana looks at Naruto and smile, then look at Jiraiya and said, only you promise you bring him back in one piece, I don't want my babe get hurt or worship. Then she turns to Naruto and said to him, when you get back before I train you I am going to get you something special only you can have. Hana, I promise I will bring him back but I can't promise he won't get hurt. Naruto, say goodbye so we can start on your train, said Jiraiya. Okay Hana, I can't wait. And okay pervert sage, said Naruto. After that Naruto give Hana a kiss and then head off to train with Jiraiya. After 2.5 hours of walking they finally got to the place where Naruto is going to train with Jiraiya. Let's teach you how to summon a toad, said Jiraiya. Is it like summoning a turtle? If so, I already know how to summon when I meet Busty Brows and became good friends with him, and Master Bushy Brows taught me some things like summoning a turtle, some taijutsu, and he said that Bushy Brows and I are masters of drunken fist. I don't know how lol, we never got drunk in our life lol, but we had nasty tea at the restaurant, said Naruto. Yes it is. Well, we need you to sign this contract with your blood, then we can skip on train on how to summon and move on something different, and I want you to sign this contract with blood too. It is the bird contract, only Uzumaki and Uchiha can summon birds. There are some other clans that can but it is rare to find them, said Jiraiya. After Naruto had signed the contracts, they begin on train Naruto fighting style and jutsus. After 3 days of train, Jiraiya said to Naruto, "Let's test out what I taught you." Naruto scream, "Water style. Water toad jutsu." Out of nowhere you see a toad made of water charging at Jiraiya. Jiraiya smiled and said, "To easy Naruto." Jiraiya didn't know that Naruto going use a jutsu he made. Naruto scream, "Water style. 2000 water toads." Jiraiya scream, "What, he improved my own jutsu. As 2000s toads made of water going to him. As Jiraiya keep destroying them, they keep on multiplying. What, they can multiple theirselves," said Jiraiya. "Wow, he got strong. Someday he will outpass me, even his dad." Jiraiya thought to himself. When they finally got to the compound, they enter the compound and saw Sume and Kiba in the kitchen. "Hi Naruto and Jiraiya, welcome back from train." "Naruto, Hana is on mission, she won't be back until later. Until then, go to your room and get the books and I can help you study," said Sume. "Mom, on our break from training me, he had me study shitload of books. 3/4 of the books we had I already study with Jiraiya, so I think I only have to study the art of transformation and the art of transfer charka. And where is Kitsune?" said Naruto. "Okay, study them until Hana get home, and she is with Hana. They been train her some of our clan jutsus that you already know. Hana will teach you both the rest later. Until then, get the 2 books and come back to the kitchen and I will make you some food. Jiraiya, do you want something to eat?" said Sume. "Yes please," said Jiraiya. Naruto went to the room to get both books and went back to the kitchen and sat down and start to study. Sume made Naruto and Jiraiya pork ramen. After 5 to 6 hours later, Naruto finished studying the 2 books and she gave him a small test and he passed it like it was nothing. Jiraiya said, "Well Naruto, I am going to go and do some research. I will watch and see how you do at the Chunin exams." "Okay pervert sage, watch, I will beat everybody like it was nothing," said Naruto. "You will have to get throw me first, dead last. Let's make a bet. If you beat me, I will stop calling you dead last and start calling you brother. But if you lose, I can still call you dead last and you will clean my room for 1 year and do all my chores for 2 years, said Kiba. "Deal, and it will be like taking a candy from a baby," said Naruto. Sume and Jiraiya laughed before Jiraiya had left. "Only if you can get these jutsus I am going to train you, baby. And when did you gotten home?" said Hana. 5 to 6 hours ago. "And how long have you been there?" said Naruto. "Enough time to heard that you can beat everybody at the Chunin exams," said Hana. "Okay, when do you want to start training me?" asked Naruto. "Later. I told you once you get home I got a gift for you. Meet me in the room in 10 minutes, said Hana. "Come on Kiba, we have to go shopping," said Sume. "But mom, you just went shopping and I want to train with Sensei Kurenai, Hinata, and Shino in our," said Kiba. "I know, but we still need to get some things and I will drop you off to train, but don't be home until 10, not a minute earlier. We won't be back until 10, so I am going bring some food from ramen shop for dinner. Have fun Naruto," she said with a smile, said Sume as Kiba and her walk left. Naruto went to the room and waited there for 8 minutes until Hana came out in a black bra and thong. Naruto's mouth dropped when he seen her. Then he starts to rub his eyes to see if he was dreaming. She went up to Naruto and pushes him to the bed and got on top of him. "Before I start to train you, I think I should give you your gift, a gift that you will have for rest of our lives and it only yours," Hana said with a smile. Warning: this part is not the fighting part. This part will have skip this part if you can't read any UAL things. You been warned. I know of you people like some things out there, so I will add little things in this part. Then she give him a passion kiss. While unzipping his jacket, she remove his jacket while she slip her tongue in his mouth. Hana start to take his shirt off slowly as Naruto undo her bra. They broke their kiss while Hana removed Naruto's shirt. Naruto removes Hana bra. They went back to their kiss. After 10 minutes, Naruto move his lips from his mate and kiss her cheek until he reaches her neck with his mouth. Naruto start to on her neck until she has nice dark hickey. After she give Naruto a hickey, Naruto grab one of her and play with her nipple while he on her other. After couple of minutes he switches. After couple of minutes of doing this and making her moan, Naruto put Hana on her back, then he took of Hana's thong slowly. After removing her thong, Naruto pulls her closer to him. He got on his knees and bend for so his face will be inches away from her. He starts to lick her once in a while. He will on her, teasing her, making cum and have multiple orgasms. After 10 minutes he slid a finger in her vagina as he flick his tongue back and forth. He slid his finger in and out, making her cum again, then he puts another finger in her. Naruto, don't stop, I am coming again, said Hana with a moan. After she cum for the third time, she stopped him and said, my turn to give you one. She got up and made Naruto lay down. She took his pants off, then his boxers. After she took his boxers off, she start to play with his balls to tease him for couple of minutes, then she start to stroke his while she on his balls and hearing him moan for 8 minutes. After ing his balls she looks at him with big smile, then she start to his. Naruto moans as he watch his mate bobs her head while sharing. Once in a while she moans to make him feels a vibration on his. Every 2 minutes she will deep throat him with loud slurping noises. Hana, I am going to cum, said Naruto with a moan. She didn't stop what she was doing, she keeping until he cum. She swallow every last drop, then sit by him until they catch their breath. She looks at him and asks, are you ready to continue? Yes, I am. I always ready to continue where we left off, said Naruto. With that she got on top of him and grab his, put it at her tight wet hole, then she lowers herself. She starts to rock herself back and forth with loud moans. Then she starts to bounce up and down. I going to cum for the 4th time, I am coming, said Hana while coming. Right after Hana cum she got up and turned, then put Naruto back into her. She starts to bounce on his again. This time Naruto got a better view of his, spreading her vagina lips and going in and out of her wet. She rode him about 10 minutes until she got up and lay on her back so Naruto can get on top of her to enter her waiting wet. As Naruto enters her slowly she moans. While Naruto go in and out of her, she digs his back and moan even louder. He starts to going in and out of her faster and harder for 10 minutes before he got off her. Hana got up and went to the dresser and got some lube, then she back to the bed, give Naruto the lube and she got on all fours, raises her up and lower her head. I want you to mithin cum in my, said Hana. Naruto put some lube on his finger, rub her hoe with his lubed finger, then slid his finger in her. He finger here until he knows she is ready to have his in her. He put some lube on his before he put his in her tight. Once he has his in her he grabs her hair and pulls but not too hard and starts to smack her while he was going in and out of her tight. He starts of nice and slow, he starts to speed up and go harder but not too hard so he won't accident hurt her. Her moans keep getting louder and she keep having multiple orgasms. Hana thinking to herself while Naruto was ing her doggy style, I wonder where he learned this crap. I know I learn all this from the library book. Think you pervert sage for give me a book to learn about and what to do, Naruto was thinking to himself. After 16 minutes of ing her, Naruto pulls out and put his in her for 4 minutes before he said to, I am coming. Hana Naruto shoot a load in her. Hana cum the same time, the 14th time. Naruto slid his out of her and lay down. Hana moved to her mate and lay by him with her head on his chest. They both fall asleep. Here is the part after UAL part. This is where you can read that he is trained with Hana and other things. 4 hours later Naruto woke up and Hana left Naruto a note. When you get up, go take a shower, and me at our clan train grounds. Kitsune will be with me waiting. After 30 minutes, Naruto was there all ready to train and still have full of energy. How do you still have a lot of energy, Naruto? Lol, asked Hana. I don't know, Naruto said with a big smiling. Let's train on two-head fox jutsu, said Hana. She show Naruto what hand signs he have to do. Naruto keep on failing for 5 hours straight, then he finally got it right. The next morning Hana said to Naruto, after we eat we are going to see how strong and smart you got. Naruto ate some eggs and bacon before Hana gave him a pencil and a paper with 9 questions. Naruto, you got 1 hour to get it done, but I accept you to get it down in 30 minutes or you won't get what you got yesterday later, said Hana. Naruto looks at the questions and the first 6 was easy to him, but the last 3 he can't remember the answer for them, so when Hana wasn't looking he did a jutsu, but Hana saw what he did but hide it good where she almost didn't caught him cheating. Wind style. Answer reveal, Naruto said to himself. Naruto bonuses question: you can quit and try next year and your team can come back, or you stay and hand in your sheets, and if you fail you and your team will get banned from doing the exams. What do you choose? Ask Hana. I will quit so my team can come back next year, but I don't need to be a Chunin to be the Hokage, and Chunin may be a rank, but there are some Genin that are a lot stronger than Chunin. Hell, some are stronger than Junin. No wait, the Hokage, said Naruto. Well done Naruto, you pass, said Hana. But you didn't look at my paper, said Naruto. Don't need to, said Hana. Did Jiraiya teach you how to survive in the forest and how to get your food? Asked Hana. Yes he did, said Naruto. Good. Kakashi want to meet you at Ramon and Lee wants you to meet him at the training grounds. After you meet Kakashi, after you meet them, come back here by 8 so we can test your fighting style. Now, we only got 4 days left before the exams, so you better be here at 8 and not a minute later, said Hana. Okay sensei, said Naruto as he head out to meet Kakashi. When Naruto finally got to Kakashi. Naruto, we need to talk. I am sorry how I've been treating you. I want to make it up with you, teach you some fighting styles and some jutsu, and your friend Lee wants to teach you 2 moves if you teach him 2 moves, said Kakashi. Okay sensei, I forgive you, so what are you going to teach me, said Naruto. Well Naruto, I going to teach you a move that is like my and Sasuke's Chidori, but yours version of it will be stronger and bigger. I call it Ultimate Chidori. First we need to teach you the Chidori, then we will make it into the Enteral Lightning Cutter, then I will teach the Lightning Cutter and the Enteral Lightning Cutter and more lightning jutsus, but there are some jutsus I taught Sasuke that I won't teach you, said Kakashi. Naruto, have you found out who your parents are? Asked Kakashi. No I haven't. Why you ask? Asked Naruto. Nothing. Just wondering. Before we start training you go meet Rock Lee, teach each other some fighting styles, then meet me at the tattoo shop at noon, said Kakashi. Why not training me now and why you want to train me? Asked Naruto. I have to do couple of things, and because I should have training you long time ago, this is why I am going to teach you my family jutsus later. They are called Lightning Style, Lightning Beast, Lightning Style, Lightning Storm, Lightning Style, Lightning Claw, Lightning Style, Lightning Wave, Water Style, Water Golem, Water Style, Water Snake, Earth Style, Hound Wall, Earth Style, Mud Trap, Fire Style, Blades of Fire, and Fire Style, Fire Sharks. Now I meet you at the tattoo shop at noon to get you a Team Kakashi tattoo to match ours, then we will go train, said Kakashi before taking off. Naruto meet Rock Lee at the training grounds, while Kakashi meet with Lord Third Hokage. Third Hokage, I am going to tell Naruto who his parents are after the exams, said Kakashi. Who are they? Asked the third. It is my sensei and his wife, said Kakashi. Yes they are, but how did you found out and why you care if he knows? What I've been hearing how you treat him, how you train Sasuke and Sakura only. said the third. I got a note with a picture of my sensei and a picture of Naruto on the knot. It said, look at Naruto, then look at your sensei. The answer to a long waiting question will come to you. That is, I found out who Naruto parents are. My sensei adopted me after my dad killed himself and after my mom died on a mission. This make Naruto my little brother, so I should have known he was alive. I could have raised him. Starting now I am going to take care of my little brother, and there are going to be nothing to stop me from telling him and taking care of him, said Kakashi. Well, Kakashi, if you going to tell him, make sure the board won't find out until after you tell him, because I can't stop them from ordering your death because they will mark you a traitor. And the funny thing is, Jiraiya came here and told me he just gave Naruto a box and a note that will tell him some things he needs to know, but it won't tell him who his parents are because he want you to tell him that. Why I send you the pictures, said the third. What, you send me the pictures? Why didn't you tell me who Naruto parents are a long time ago? Asked Kakashi. The board didn't want Naruto or anybody to know, and I can't stay it anymore, so I send the pictures to you. No, Naruto deserves a better life than what he had, said the third. Well, I have to go and meet Naruto at the tattoo shop, but on the way there I am going to some stores to get him some gifts, said Kakashi before he took off. Naruto went into the 6 gates mode like Lee. Naruto, I want you to make as many shadow clones. Naruto interrupts Rock Lee. I want to test out my new jutsu called multiple solid clone jutsu. If I use that instead of my shadow clones? Naruto asked Rock Lee. Even better, Naruto, said Rock Lee as Naruto made 18 solid clones. Rock Lee screams flying eagle as he kick one clone in the stomach and send him 2,000 feet into the air, then show up above him and kick him within the face. His leg looks like an eagle when he kicked Naruto's clone in the face and make him land into the ground. When Naruto's clone hits the ground, you can see his face cover in solid ice. Naruto, now you try, said Rock Lee. It took Naruto 10 tries before he got it right. Well, Naruto, you did well. Now let's try the Lion's Gate, said Rock Lee. Rock Lee screams Lion's Gate as he run up to one of Naruto's clone and knee him in the stomach, then did a uppercut, then did a spinning kick that looks like lion face to Naruto's clone chest and send him to a tree and made it look like there was a gate. Naruto then tried, but this took lot longer than the flying eagle. This took him 40 tries. Try this one, Naruto. Nighttime dragon, said Rock Lee as flipped Naruto's clone and did an elbow that shows a dragon as it lands on Naruto's clone chest and made him cough out blood. Naruto did this move in one try but did it lot stronger. Not only he made his clone cough out blood but also broke his clone chest bones. Here is the final move I am going to teach you, Midnight Snake, said Rock Lee as he hit Naruto's clone with his palm of his hand to the nose of the clone, then hit the stomach with both palms, then hit the side of the knees with his legs so the clone will drop to his knees. Then he hit Naruto clone in the face with his hand that looked like a snake and broke the clone's neck. Naruto did this in one try, but instead of breaking the neck he killed his clone by accident. Well, Naruto, you learn so fast, said Rock Lee. I am going to teach you the spinning heel of death, 1,000 years of death, spinning heel drop, and last but not least the 1,000 pounds of pain, said Naruto. One of the clones came up to Naruto, and one came up to Rock Lee. Naruto's clones start to fight Naruto, and Naruto dodge and hit him in the stomach, then jump behind him and yell, 1,000 years of death, as he hit his clone butt and send him in the air 400 feet in the air. Rock Lee did the same thing as easy as Naruto did. Well done, bushy brows, said Naruto. Spinning heel drop. Naruto's scream as jumps in the air, spinning and come back down with his heel on the clone's head and crack his clone head wide open. With this, Rock Lee jumps in the air and start to spin, then he lands his heel on one of Naruto's clone's head but didn't crack his head. Rock Lee tried this 16 times before getting it right. Now try this. Spinning heel of death, said Naruto as he jump in the air and start to spin, but this time he doesn't stop with heel on the head. After his heel hits his clone's skull and crack it, Naruto then keep spinning and keep hitting his clone with his heel until he kill his clone. Rock Lee try it and it took him 18 tries before making it perfect. Last but not least, 1,000 pounds of pain, Naruto said as he went to one out of 2 clones that are left. Naruto uppercut his clone send him in the air, then Naruto jumps in the air and flip his clone where he can have his clone's back facing the ground, then start to spin on the clone's stomach until he hit the ground and the clones start to spit out blood. Rock Lee try and pass it on his first try. Bye Naruto, I have to go and meet Sensei Guy, said Rock Lee as he left. Bye bushy brows, said Naruto as he left to meet Kakashi. When Naruto finally got to the tattoo was there waiting for him. Naruto, I am going to get you a tattoo on your back, it will be like mine but when you have your own team you can add to the tattoo like I did, said Kakashi. Kakashi show Naruto what the tattoo will look just add a little part to his tattoo looks like a wolf with Uzumaki symbol on the stomach, with Sharingan eyes, with a monkey, slug, snake, and toad by the wolf. Flying thunder god kunai in each paws, a scar cross one of the eyes, goggles on the wolf's forehead, on the legs of the wolf there are purple rectangular marks, on the snake there was the Uchiha symbol on the stomach, on the toad face there are 3 whisker marks on each cheek, on the slug there are little white circles, a dragon is the wolf's tail, on the wolf's face which he just added was Inuzuka fangs on each cheek of the wolf. Kakashi told Naruto what each item is for, the goggles for Obito, purple rectangular for Rin, thunder god kunais for the 4th Hokage, wolf for his dad, dragon for his mom, scar by the eye for him, Uzumaki symbol for the 4th's wife, Sharingan eyes and Uchiha symbol for Sasuke, white circles on the slug for Sakura, monkey for the 3rd Hokage, slug for Tsunade, snake for Orochimaru, toad for Jiraiya, whiskers on the cheeks of the toad and Inuzuka fangs on the wolf's cheeks for Naruto. I got it. Let's teach you the summoning jutsus first. I already know you can summon birds, toads, and turtles but why not teach you the 2 summonings that my clan can summon only and the K9 summoning, I bet you be called a summoning king or summoning lord. If you can summon a lot of things, did you know the legend the sage of the 6 paths and his 4 kids, the legend has it he created the charka, jutsus, summoning and fighting styles and he gave each of his kids a couple abilities, first son had the Rinnegan and 6 paths of pain, second son had the Sharingan and deadly paths of genjutsus, first dog there had multiple chakras and multiple elemental jutsus, and second dog there had multiple summonings and can bring things to reality, said Kakashi. I knew that, because Jiraiya had me learn our history and other stupid things. Can we start because I have to meet Hana at 8 no later than that and it is already 12 so we got 8 hours, said Naruto. Kakashi summoned look at Naruto and then look at Kakashi and said, have it been that long since I've been summoned? I knew you will get big but not this big, how long have it been since I seen you last time Naruto? Only 6 months, said Naruto. Naruto told him what happened in those 6 months. Pakun, I need the 3 summoning scrolls and I need you to go to Hana and tell her that Naruto won't be there until 10 in the morning to train with her because I am teaching him some things and I want you to give Sum this note, said Kakashi. Okay Kakashi, said Pakun as he gave Kakashi the 3 summoning scrolls, then he took off to go see Hana and Sum. Well Naruto, now we can train you until 2 in the morning then we can sleep for 8 hours before you can train with Hana. I don't have to teach you how to summon so you just have to sign the contracts, then I can teach you the dragon and wolf fighting styles, then the jutsus, said Kakashi. Naruto signed the 3 contacts with his Naruto can summon turtles, toads, wolves, birds, dragons, and start to teach Naruto the Reaper's dragon fighting style, golden dragon style, dead dragon style, and black dragon style combined to make the deadliest dragon style. 2 hours of teach Naruto it, he couldn't believe that Naruto is a fast learner. Naruto, let's test out the Reaper's dragon fighting style that I just taught you. You are one out of 3 people who knows this style, both of us and my mom," said Kakashi as they are getting in the Reaper's dragon fighting style went to attack Kakashi, so he went into a defense posture. So Naruto hit Kakashi in 10 different ways to break Kakashi. He hit Kakashi in the face, then the throat with his dive into Kakashi's stomach with his head, then did a spinning kick like a dragon tail whipping his starts to fight back. Naruto keep dodging and blocking Kakashi's hits. When Naruto saw an opening, Naruto hit Kakashi in the ribs, then hit him in the jaw. Well done Naruto, let's teach you the Angle's wolf fighting style. Only 3 people going to know this, us and my dad. Angle's wolf fighting style is combine of white wolf style, silver wolf style, and an healing wolf style. This makes the deadest wolf fighting style ever, said Kakashi. This took even longer. It took Naruto 4 hours to want to test Naruto with this style, but this time Kakashi didn't told Naruto that they are going to test it out. Kakashi start to attack, did a upper hook, then knee to the he swing his leg to hit Naruto in the face, but Naruto dodge went to hit Naruto in the ribs, but Naruto block it and grab the leg and hit in the knee with his did a black flip and had both legs hit Kakashi's, finish it up with a kick to the knee to the stomach, jab to the throat, follow up with a kick to the face. Well done Naruto, let's teach you some jutsus before we go to bed, said Kakashi. After 6 hours of training, Naruto learned Chidori, Ultimate Chidori, Lightning Cutter, Internal Lightning Cutter, Lightning Fox, Lightning Toad, Lightning Fox Roar, Lightning Toad Slap, Lighten Style, Lightning Birds, Lighten Style, Cross Thunder, Lightning Style, Lightning Prison, Lighten Style, Lightning Dragon, Water Style, Water Dragon, Water Style, Big Wave, Water Style, Water Prison, Fire Style, Fire Prison, Fire Style, Fire Dragon, Earth Style, Earth Dragon, Earth Style, Earth Prison, Wind Style, Wind Prison, Wind Style, Wind Dragon, Elemental Dragon, and Elemental Prison. Kakashi can't believe that Naruto had learned all that in 6 hours. Wow Naruto, you are a fast learn. Time to teach you my family jutsus, then we are done training, then we can go to bed after we eat, said Kakashi. After 3.5 hours later, Naruto learned Fire Style, Fire Sharks, Fire Style, Blades of Fire, Earth Style, Mud Trap, Earth Style, Hound Wall, Water Style, Water Snake, Water Style, Water Golem, Lighten Style, Lightning Wave, Lighten Style, Lightning Claw, and Lighten Style, Lighten Storm. Last jutsu I am going to teach you is the Lighten Style, Lightning Beast, said Kakashi. Kakashi showed Naruto the hand signs and made the Lightning Beast, what looks like a hound. Naruto did the hand signs and keep on asked Kakashi to show him the hand signs, did the boar then dragon then snake, then that Naruto did that and add lot more chakra to the jutsu and he finally got it. After that Naruto add 2 more signs to another boar and dragon to made the multiple lightning was 8 beasts. One looks like a fox, one looks like a wolf, one look like a dragon, one looks like a bird, one look like a toad, one look like a tiger, one look like a turtle, and the last one look like a can't believe Naruto improv Kakashi's family show Kakashi how to do it, and he also shw him a jutsu that will turn his body into fire armor. Kakashi thought to himself, Naruto, you have improv in many ways and I know you will be a great Hokage. They at their dinner then went to next morning. Naruto was heading home to meet Hana, but Naruto got stopped by an angry mob. You are not lucky today, demon. You should stay by your girlfriend, because I got respect to not kill you in front of her, before the guy with a sword in the mob can finish. Naruto show up behind him and punch him in the back and send him into a fence, then he start to beating up the mob. Hana was walking with Kakashi and was talking about Naruto when they just saw what mob start to attack Naruto, but Naruto dodge every attack and start to kick their FC King. They all took off except the guy with sword went to slice Naruto, but Naruto caught the sword with 2 fingers, then used his other hand and did lightning cutter on the blade and broke the sword into 10 pieces. When the guy saw this, he took up. "I see you don't take crap from anyone again," said Hana. "Naruto, I got to tell you something after the exams," Kakashi said before he left. "Naruto, I want you to meet me with Kitsune at our train grounds in 10 minutes," said Hana as she head to the train grounds. Naruto went home and got Kitsune and then went to the training grounds. "No, let's save that when we are at the Chunin exams," said Naruto as they went into 4 legs technique. Naruto's and Kitsune's teeth and nails grow and became very sharp. Naruto ears grow until a point tip. Naruto and Kitsune became even more eye changed to looks like his Kyuubi eyes look, but it was color can see their blue charka circling around them. "Are you ready, Hana?" asked Naruto. "Their charka is so strong," Hana thought to herself. "Well, Hana, are you ready?" Naruto asked again. "Yes, Naruto," Hana said as she went into 4 legs technique. Hana's eyes changed to looks like 3 nin dogs and her teeth and claws had grown, but they didn't got buff like Naruto and Kitsune did. Hana sent Johto and Clash to fight June and her attack dodge a bite from Johto, then did a back flip off of Clash's head, then did passing Fang on Johto, then another one on Yelp in dodge June passing Fang and caught Hana yell with a smile fire style. Swords of swords made of fire appear floating around, send 2 of the swords to attack June and the other 2 block attacks from dodge one sword but got hit with the other. Yelpin was attacking Naruto with her sword, but Naruto keep blocking her attacks with both swords until he saw an opening and he took kick her behind her knees and made her drop to the floor, then have his foot go to her face so she close her eyes. But he stopped himself a couple inches from her, open her eyes and saw Naruto putting his foot back down. She looked at her nindogs and saw them defeated and in pain. "Well, Naruto, you and Kitsune have improved a lot and I quite, why have you stopped the kick?" asked Hana as her 3 nin dogs came up to her and Naruto. "Well, I didn't want to put a mark on my beautiful mate's face," said Naruto as Kitsune joined them and making Hana blush. "Let's go home and eat, you got a big day, Tom Marrow," said Hana. The next morning Hana woke up and saw that Naruto was gone and left her a note that says, "Honey, I went to do my exams, I will be here after the Forest of Death, if you want to you can meet me at the Forest of Death at 11. Love." Look at her clock and saw that she got 3 hours until she can see Naruto before he can do the second part of the change. Her went to the kitchen and saw Sume cooking. "Hi mom," said Hana. "Hi pup, are you going to see Naruto before the second part of the exams?" asked Sume. "Yes, I want to give him couple of things, so before I go see him I HSVE to stop and get them," said Hana. "Good. Give these to Naruto and Kiba, this is for them and their team, so they can eat while they are in the Forest of Death for 6 days, and gave them these to keep them warm at night," said Sume as she hand the scrolls. "Okay mom," said Hana as she finished her meal. Hana looked at the clock and saw that she got 2 hours. Hana hurry and left to get Naruto and Kiba some new. Hana finished shopping, she waited until Naruto will show up. While Naruto look at his test and start writing the and Sakura look at Naruto and saw that his authors were smart authors, not a stupid ones like Naruto used to do. For example, he used to say that he can beat all the Hokages as an author to what do you think of the past. Now he answers questions. For example, the question what will you do if you have a choice to let one team member to get killed or you have to kill the other one to save the one that is a hostage to another village, and Naruto answer neither. I would make a deal with the village, my life for my teammates can leave and won't be. Naruto finish his test. He saw that Sakura and Sasuke is having a problem with their ASNWERS, so he looks around and start to do some hand signs or the table ram, dog, ox, dragon and a new hand sign. Naruto made a fox, then he put his hands on his paper, said not loud wind style, Copy that. Naruto hand a black dot on both. He put his hands back under the table and did more hands signs: ox, board, dragon, ox, dog, and another hand sign that Naruto made tiger. Then he put his hands on the table and said not loud wind style. Transfer that. The two black dots came off his hands and went on the table, then went to Sakura and Sasuke. Couple of seconds the two dots split until 9 dots each, then the dots went to each question, then turned into the Aswers. Naruto got up and hand over his test to Ibiki. Look at Naruto's answers and saw that they all are right. Well Naruto, I see that you are not stupid like you used to be, said Ibiki. Well I see you still got scars on your face. Scar face, said Naruto. They look like they going to fight. Sakura and Sasuke look at Boruto. Great, he going to get us kick out of the. Seconds later Naruto and Ibiki start to laugh. I heard that Hana, Sume, and Jiraiya made you study your books and that you have improved your skills. You better make it through the forest of death so I can see you make it to final part of the exams so I can see how much you've been improved, said Ibiki. I will. So did I pass or did I fail the test? Asked Naruto. Yes, you passed the 9 questions, said Ibiki. Sakura and Sasuke went to turn in the look at the answers, then look at them and said, well, what do we have here, Naruto? Guys, let's go to the hall talk about your guys' answers, all 3 of you, said Ibiki. When the 4 of them went in the hall, who wants to meant that they cheated? If you guys meant it, you and your team come back next year, but if you guys don't, all 3 will be stuck as a genin for good. Naruto stepped up and said, I transfer my ANS WRS to their paper. Well, we didn't change the answers after he gave them to us, said Sakura and Sasuke. Well, congrats, all 3 you passed the 10th hidden question. I didn't saw you guys cheat, I took a guess on that, because 3 of you have the same answers. Well, go to the forest of death and wait for Anko there, said Ibiki as he went back to the class. As Naruto and his team head out, Kiba and his team caught up to Naruto. Did you PSS too, Naruto? Asked Kiba. No, we can never be a chunin as I live, said Naruto. Man, that maybe the Hokage will change Ibikismond and let you guys do the chunin's exams next year, said Kiba. I got you. Yes, I pass. You should see the look on your face, said Naruto as he laughed. I will get you back, Naruto, said Kiba. Not if your sister got anything to do with it. You know why? Because she is my mate, said Naruto. I am going to kick your Naruto, said Kiba. I am only messing with you, Kiba, said Naruto. Now you should see the look on your face, Naruto, said Kiba as he laughed. Damn you, Kiba, you got me back, said Naruto as they made it to the forest of death. Hi Kiba and hi honey, said Hana as she walked up to them. Here are food and sleeping bag scrolls for your team and you guys. This is from Mom, said Hana. Tell her we said thank you, said Naruto, Kiba, and their team. I will. Nice clothes, Naruto. Where you got these? Asked Hana. Kakashi gave me these for the chunin exams when he gave me the clothes to train me with, said Naruto. Well, you look hot in whatever you wear or didn't wear, said Hana. Same to you, baby, said Naruto, making Hana blush. Go get a room, you too, said Kiba. Hinata and Sakura punch Kiba. Shut up, they both said. Shino and Sasuke start to laugh as Kiba said sorry. Only if we got time, said Hana said to Kiba. I almost forgot. Here you go, Kiba. I got you some new custom-made kunai, some smoke bombs, some poison bombs, some sleeping gas and a mask to stop the poison and sleeping gas from getting to him and shuriken. By the way, you better not fight Naruto when you are in there. I want you guys to team up to help each other to get the scrolls, but when you guys get to the final exams then you guys can fight, or when you get home I am going to make your life a living hell. You hear me, Kiba? Said Hana. Yes, Hana, said Kiba as he was scared of her. Here you go Naruto, the things you got custom made is done, so I got them made for you with the things I got custom made for you, and you better do the same thing what I said to Kiba, said Hana, as she handed him a sword, a chain that got a hook at the end of each part of the chain, some smoke bombs, some poison bombs, some sleeping gas, mask same as Kiba, some shuriken, and some kunai. All the items Naruto had was custom made, that was color red and black with a fox design on them with the Inuzaka clan's tattoo design on the fox face. Anko walked up to Naruto and Hana. Well, is it my good friend Hana? What are you doing here? Asked Anko. Dropping things off to Kiba, Naruto and their team and wishing them luck, said Hana. Okay, Friday after the pre-Chunin exams we are not going to the Ichigo's bar and grill, we are going to the new club and bring Naruto, said Anko as she walking to the front of the team. Okay Anko, said Hana. All you worms need to listen up, I am only going say this once, you don't only have to worry about the other teams, you also have to worry about my pets and they are hungry, anything goes once you enter the forest of death. That mean you can kill or do whatever you want and we can't stop anything until the 5 days are up. There are 80 scrolls, 40 scrolls of heaven and 40 scrolls of earth. Your team will get one of either of scrolls and you guys have to get the other one, then you guys have to get to the central tower in order to pass the third stage. Oh, I almost forgot, don't open the scrolls until you get to central tower. Now go to the tables and sign up and get your scroll, then go to the gate that the people who gave you the scroll tell you to go, said Anko. Naruto went to the table and Iruka hand over scroll of earth to Naruto and he wished them good luck and told Naruto to be careful, he don't want him to die, and then told him to go to gate 80. Naruto and his team went to the gate. Get ready, set and go, said Anko. The teams start to run into the forest of 5 minutes of being in there, you can hear screams. What is the plan? Asked Sakura and Sasuke while looking at Naruto. You guys trust me with the plan, that is the first, we going to use one of us as a bait. Sasuke, you hide yourself into the ground using the earth style, hidden mole jutsu that Kakashi taught us, and attack from below. Sakura, you will be the bait with the scroll, acting like you lost us and trying to find us, you attack from the middle, I will use my earth style, multiple clone jutsu and earth style, body armor and hide in the trees and attack from the above, and we will follow you until we run into a team. The code to let each other know if a team is coming is a whistling, and a code for hide yourself. Sakura, too many teams are coming is a dog bark. So what you guys think? It is dangerous plan but it can work, asked Naruto. Good. Let's do it, they both said. Sasuke did the hand signs boar, snake, dragon, dog, boar and said, earth style, hidden mole jutsu. Sasuke body turn into rock and start to go into the ground. Naruto did the hand signs snake, dragon, tiger, boar and said, earth style, body armor follow by earth style, multiple clone jutsu, and summon 11 clones and cover up with armor made out of earth. Then the 12 Narutos jumped to 12 different trees. 30 minutes later, Naruto whistled to Sakura. This is it, they all thought to themselves. The 3 ninja hide in the bush, by Sakura. Naruto and Sasuke, where are you guys? Yell Sakura. One of the ninja throw kunai's cover with paper bombs in every direction to see if it is a trap. On bomb land by Naruto and the other land 4 feet by Sasuke. Then the ninja did some hand signs and the paper bombs went. God that Sasuke was 4 away and in the ground, and thank God Naruto had the armor made of earth on him, they both would had been died. The 3 ninjas came out. If it was a trap, your team is now dead, but if you did lost your team, you should have found them, said a ninja with his face cover. I make you the deal, give us the scroll of earth and live, or we take it from you and you die, said the female one said. I take neither, because you can give me your scroll or will die and I take it from you, said Sakura. I guess you took the second one, said the girl. Earth style. Earth drive. Sasuke came out the ground and kicked the guy with his face cover before the guy can finish his jutsu. 6 Naruto's clones jump from the trees in wind style. 1,000 needles of pain while the other 5 other clones and the real Naruto stay in the trees and throw 4 kunai each. Sakura did the jutsu water style, water vortex. This match is far from over. Well, until next. Take care. And again, sorry for it being short. There was dust everywhere. The female ninja start to laugh. It takes more than some weak jutsus to kill us. Naruto show up in front of the girl and send a knee to her stomach, then an elbow to the face, followed by a kick to the chest and sending her into her 2 teammates. Naruto did some hand signs in yell storm style. Hurricane dance, making a hurricane with blades and sending it to the 3 ninjas. Sasuke did some hand signs in yell fire style. Dancing phoenix, sending a giant phoenix at the 3. Did some hand signs in yell earth style. Underground roots, making roots coming out the ground and going towards the 3 ninjas. The 3 ninjas dodged Naruto and Sakura's attack but got hit by Sasuke's attack. Then Naruto start to go throw hand signs, then yell, water style, multiple black dragons of death. Making 3 black dragons that is made out of water and sending them at the enemies. One of the enemy did some hand signs and yell, earth style, 1,000,000 blades of death, and send it at Sasuke while the other 2 ninjas stops Naruto's attack. Orochimaru jump out of the bushes and block the attack that was heading for Sasuke by making a wall out of fire, then he did some hand signs. Orochimaru said evilly, fire style, fire pit of death, and made a pit that goes around the 3 ninjas and they start to stink into the pit that is made of fire. The 3 ninjas start to scream while they burn to death. Sasuke, you want power, do you want to take your revenge? Then come join me, said Orochimaru. Never. If I kill him for revenge then I will be just like him, but I will kill him for justice for my clan. I will never join a freak like you, said Sasuke. Let me give you a gift that will bring your hatred out, a gift of power that will make you want to join me for more, said Orochimaru. Orochimaru's eyes turn all white. His teeth change into sharp fangs, then he stretched his neck and went to bite Sasuke. Naruto saw this, so he ran and pushed Sasuke out of the way. Instead of biting Sasuke, he accidentally bite Naruto on his neck and gave him the cursed seal mark. Naruto put his hand on the cursed mark and start to scream before pasting out from the pain. Kitsune ran to Naruto. You will pay for that, you snake prick, asked Kitsune. Guess his body can be good to have as my next body, but I will have those eyes one way or another, said Orochimaru. Sasuke went to punch Orochimaru in the face, but he caught it and punched Sasuke in the stomach, followed by a kick to the face and sending him throw a tree. Kitsune ran bite Orochimaru in the face and ripping off Orochimaru's face, which turned out to be a someone's body that Orochimaru took. Sakura went to check on Naruto. 3 ninjas show up. Orochimaru looked at one of the ninjas and said, Dosu, I want you and your team to kill those 2 and get me that boy's eyes and bring me the boy that is passed out alive. Then Orochimaru. Kin, you get the boy that Orochimaru wants alive, and Zaku, you get the girl while I handle the Uchiha and get his eyes for Lord Orochimaru, said Dosu. Can we take our time killing them? Asked Zaku. I don't give a as long you make it painful, said Dosu. Zaku went to punch Sakura, but she dodges the attack but got kicked in the stomach by Zaku. Kin ran to Naruto, but Kitsune got in front of Naruto and throw a fireball at Kin, which she dodge and throw 4 needles at Kitsune, but she block it by using a burst of wind and send them back at her. Dosu punched Sasuke in the face, followed by a knee to the face, and went to hit Sasuke in the face again, but Sasuke blocked the attack. Dosu punched Sasuke in the stomach and yell, Sonic Boom, making a wave in Sasuke's stomach. Then he went to punch Sasuke in the face, but Sasuke dodged the hit. Dos then yell, Sonic Blast, making a loud sound in Sasuke's ear and making Sasuke's ear bleed. Then Dosu punched Sasuke in his stomach followed by a kick to the face and sending him to a tree. Zaku elbows Sakura in the face then knee her in the stomach followed by an uppercut. Zaku then yell, blast of sound, making a loud sound that made Sakura drop to the ground and spit out blood then kick her into Sasuke. Kitsune start to run at Kin the she jumped to attack Kin but Kin kicked Kitsune and sending her to Sasuke and Sakura. Kin then said, stupid ing fox, then she threw needles at them. Ding! The needles got blocked by some shurikens. Shino went to fight Dosu. Kiba went to fight Kin. Hinata went to fight Zaku. More people to kill, this going to be fun, said Kin and Zaku. Zaku, Kin, let's hurry up and kill them so we can finish with those brats and finish our mission, said Dosu. Fine, I wish we could play with them before we kill them, said Kin. I agreed. Faster we finish with our mission the faster I can go home, said Zaku. Man beast clone, 4-leg technique, Fang passing Fang, yell Kiba. Kin dodged the attack and threw a paper bomb and made it explode and then ran to Kiba and Akamaru and kicked them followed by a punch to the face then a kick and send them where Sasuke, Sakura, and Kitsune is at. Hinata ran up to Zaku and yell, lion claw technique, making a blue chakra around her hand and taking a shape of a lion claws. Then she starts to swing at him but he caught her arms and knees her in the stomach. If all of you leaf ninjas this week then I should do you village a favor and kill you all, said Zaku as elbow Hinata in the face followed by a kick then he yell, decapitating airwaves, make a small green wave of charka out of his hands at Hinata and sending her to Kiba. Sonic quake, said Dosu as punch the ground and sending a wave of sound throw the ground then throw Shino. Shino start to scream in pain and his bugs start to died. Then Dos show up in front of Shino and yell, Sonic boom, making a wave in Shino's stomach. Shino start to cough out blood then Dos did another move call, Sonic kick, that made one kick look like 10 kicks to the face and send him to his team. Time to end this, said Dosu. Extreme wave of sonic needles, yell Team Dosu as they combine their strongest attack to kill everybody except Naruto fast and painful. A giant wall made out of earth stopped the 1,000 needles from hitting them. As the needles in the wall dropped Team Dosu saw Naruto standing in front of his friends. On Naruto's neck, hand, and half of his face has black flames. One of his eyes was all black with reddish-blue pupil with thin orange line. Half of his teeth grew and same with his nails. He has blackish-purple charka around him. Now it is my turn to have fun because you three is going to die slow and painful and I will kill you one by one starting with the girl then the guy with holes in the hands then you the mummy guy. I going to make you beg for your life, beg for mercy, you will wish that you did hurt my friends and family, said Naruto with an evil smile. Naruto disappear from in front of his friends then reappear in front of Kin. He punch her in the face then knee her in the stomach then elbow her in the face followed by a kick to the ribs making her drop to the ground. She tried to crawl away from him but he grabbed her leg and threw her in the air then he sent another kick to her ribs this time breaking them. She starts to cough out blood. Blast of sound. Sonic blast, yell Zaku and Dosu yell as then send a wave of sound at Naruto fastest they ever have so they can save their team. Naruto disappear again then reappear again. Giving them many kicks to their face then their ribs and breaking them. Don't worry you guys will after her so don't be in a rush so wait your turn. Said Naruto as he walked to Kin and grab her by her hair. He then lifts her up and grabs one of her needles then jabs it in one of her eyes then ripping it out of her head while laughing evilly. Kin screams can her from the forest of death. Anko was talking to Hana. Sounds like someone like to torture their victims like I do, said Anko. Poor person I hope it is not Naruto's team that is getting torture. Said Hana. Maybe he is doing it, said Anko. No, Naruto won't do that, said Hana. Let's find out who is getting and who is doing the torture. I got cameras all over the forest, said Anko. Anko turned on her TV and was going throw the cameras and stop at one. I was joking. Who knew I will be right about Naruto, said Anko. Hana went to look and saw what Anko is seeing. Naruto already took Kin's other eye out and stomp on it like he did to the other one before he went behind her and slice her throat nice and slow, letting her bleed to death. Please Naruto, stop this, said his friends while Kitsune making sure that Dose and Zaku won't run, so she took out their legs. Kitsune eye was like Naruto's, his paw and teeth is like Naruto, she also had the charka and the black flames too. What is wrong with you two? This is not like you two, asked Kiba. I won't stop until they are dead. If you want to get in the way and stop this, I will kill you all, said Naruto. We got a taste of blood and we love it, so we want more. Lime Master said you can take their place, said Kitsune. Naruto friends look away and shut up. Naruto went to Zaku and grabbed him by his arms and dragged him to Kin body. Please don't. I am sorry, said Zaku. Shish, it will okay, I won't kill you, I will make sure you be able to use your arms again, said Naruto as he pulled and ripped both arms out of Zaku's body, making him scream. Kitsune, kill him, said Naruto. You said you won't kill me, said Zaku. I didn't lie, Kitsune is going to kill you, said Naruto as he walked up to Dosu. Kitsune jumped on Zaku, then ripped his throat out and making him bleed to death. Take the scroll and please spare me, I don't want to die, said Dosu as he handed over the scroll to Naruto. Naruto put the scroll with the other two before dragging Dosu to his teammate's body. I am making sure you die by your teammates, said Naruto as he breaks the legs and arms of Dosu before unwrapping Dosu's face. Once he finishes unwrapping Dosu's face, he starts to strangle him until he died. Now let's